All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining the Future Peds Res South Small Regional Program webinar for the 2025 match cycle. If you're with us for the first time, we welcome you, and if you have attended any previous webinars, we thank you for joining us again.
My name is Stephanie Maeda, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a fourth-year medical student at Western University, College of Osteopathic Medicine in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm one of the FPR co-directors for this year. Thank you again for joining us this evening.
And my name is Caroline Maltese. Pronouns are she, her. I am a fourth-year student at Penn State College of Medicine, and I work very closely with Stephanie as the other co-director for the Future Peds Res group. And we are so excited to have you here, and we are so excited that all of our program directors are here as well.
Before we start, we want to acknowledge our AAPPD faculty advisor, Dr. Michael Dell, who is the Vice Chair of Education at Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, as well as Colleen Hughes, who serves as the Associate Executive Director for AAPPD. We would also like to acknowledge our concept faculty advisor, Dr. Rachel Thompson, who is an assistant professor of pediatrics and director of pediatric undergraduate medical education at the Boston University Chobanian and Avedisian School of Medicine. These individuals have made tonight possible, and we are very, very, very grateful for all their support.
It is now our pleasure to introduce to you all the assistant directors of webinars for the South region.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erin Nieskern. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a fourth-year medical student at the University of Colorado School of Medicine. I apologize, my camera's not on. I'm having some connection issues. But I also wanted to introduce Freya Fatima. Unfortunately, she lost her voice, so I am introducing her tonight, but she is a fourth-year medical student at the Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Hello, my name is Victoria Santos. I'm a fifth-year medical student in Brazil, and I'm really happy to be here tonight.
Great. We would also like to introduce our FPR Webinar Associate Director, who's working hard behind the scenes tonight, Tina.
Hi everyone, my name is Sheena Bedi. My pronouns are she, her. I am an international medical graduate from D.Y. Patil Medical College, India, and I'm serving as the Associate Director for webinars for FPR this season.
And now let's delve into our goals for the night.
So welcome to everyone joining us today. We are so excited to have everyone at the Southern Region Small Program webinar, and are grateful to all the program directors and assistants, as well as representatives who have taken time out to be with us tonight. Our series goals for the regional webinars are providing pediatric residency applicants with foundational knowledge surrounding the virtual interview season, well-rounded insight into the benefits of programs by region, and devoted time for live Q&A. We will be program presentations shortly, during which time applicants will be able to learn about some of the programs and ask questions near the end. This presentation will be recorded, so if you are interested in learning about the other programs that are not in your own breakout room, you can check out our YouTube page later. Before we move on, we will have the APPD representatives of the Southern Region states, Dr. Bria, who will give us a quick overview of some of the states included in the Southern Region area from the APPD leadership in that region. Dr. Bria, would you mind starting us off?
Time is about 8 or 5 p.m.
Dr. Bria, I can see you're on. We can't exactly hear you right now, but are ready for you to present whenever you're ready.
All right.
I just could not get myself unmuted. Oh my gosh, the youth of today. So I am not one of them. My name is Corinne Bria. It is such a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. I will tell you, for all of the applicants who are on this call and on this session, there are some amazing program directors and program leadership, and I recognize so many people. So you are in for such a treat tonight. It is my opportunity, it is my privilege to introduce you a bit to the Southern region. So the Southern region involves so many amazing programs. It involves so many amazing states. It's probably the largest region that you are going to experience. So we go as far north as Delaware and Maryland, and we include the great state of Texas. Do not mess with Texas, right? So we have the largest state in the union, as well as the third largest state in the union, which is Florida, in this region. There's so many advantages. There's so many wonderful things about a smaller program, that really intimate sort of feel, the way that you really connect with one another, the opportunities that you have to really take care sort of at a very grassroots level of your patients and your families in a variety of environments. So I'm really excited for all of you to get to know the program directors, the program leadership teams of these programs. They have so much to offer you, and I'm really excited for that. I am sitting with you in the parking lot of the Contemporary Resort in Florida. And I want to tell you a little bit why, because this is why pediatrics is so amazing. So my husband and I are presenting at a conference, and as part of that, we drove 30 minutes away from our house to the Contemporary Resort. We live in Lake Nona, which is just north of the parks. And my plan was to take this call from our room and to show you the amazing Incredibles decor in my room. But then it started to thunder and lightning. And so now all of my children and all their bathing suit glory are in my room. And so I can't be there because no one wants to see that. But this is what you have to look forward to in pediatrics. This is just a really quick anecdote of what you have in store for you. This will be your life. Embrace it. And please, 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 I really want to advocate strongly for the Southeast and the Southern region. This is a region where you can go skiing in the mountains and also be beachside in the Gulf of Mexico, all within the same region. There is so much in store for you in this region. Please, please, please do not overlook this region. Do not pass by this region. And really, I really want you to have just the most enjoyable time tonight. And please know that you're in the presence of greatness with this program leadership team who's here tonight. So please enjoy yourself. Mwah.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation on what the Southern region has to offer. I would now like to introduce our participating programs for tonight. Thank you everyone for coming. And attendees, please take a moment to pull out your phones and take a picture of the screen to easily refer back to when you're bouncing around breakout rooms. This slide will also remain shared in the main room during the entire webinar. We will now be going into our breakout rooms.
Attendees, please take a moment to pull out your phones and snap a picture of your screen if you have not done so already. This will allow you to easily refer back to when bouncing around breakout rooms. This slide will also remain shared in the main breakout room during the entire webinar. I would also like to offer our attendees some guidance with navigating between breakout rooms, because it's something new for me, probably new for a lot of you too. To join a different breakout room, select breakout room and then join the breakout room of your choice. To return to the main room, select leave room, then leave breakout room. So welcome everyone to room 1. My name is Victoria. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a medical student from Brazil, and I will be your moderator this evening. I would also like to introduce our FPR Webinar Assistant Director, working hard behind the scenes tonight. That is Faraya. I would like to invite our program representatives to give a short presentation of their programs for 5 minutes for the first part of the evening, and then we will take questions after all of the presentation. Attendees, you can however leave your questions in the chat as we go. We also encourage programs to make use of the chat to answer any questions they can in case we run out of time. To ensure that all programs are adequately represented, each presentation is limited to 5 minutes. This time we will use a timer in my screen, so it will show the 5 minutes you have, and we ask that when the time is over, you skip your turn. Our first program of the evening is Texas, Baylor, Scott, and White. I would like to invite your representative to unmute and tell us about your program. But first, I will just add the timer, and then you can tell me if you can see it.
I do not see the timer, but can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. And I want to echo what Dr. Bria was saying. The Southern region really is fantastic group of programs. I know a lot of the programs here in the room tonight, and I just want to give a warm welcome. You've chosen a great career ahead of you as a young pediatrician. My name's Chris Hovland. I'm the program director for Texas A&M Baylor Scott and White Pediatrics. We actually have lots of names, but that's the one that you'll find in the application system. In case you're unfamiliar with Temple, Texas, basically it's the heart of Texas, right kind of in the middle. We're about 30 minutes south of Waco, which is where Chip and Joanna Gaines are from, if you watch their show. I just wanted to talk a moment about our program. And really the best way to highlight our program is to discuss our program mission and aims. Our program mission is to transform residents into skillful pediatricians who provide compassionate care for patients, families, and the community while retaining the joy in medicine and academic curiosity. Our program has built 5 aims around this mission that really kind of structure everything we do in our program. Our first aim is to train pediatricians who would personally choose to care for our children and our loved ones. Just like Dr. Bria was mentioning, her kiddos, they're there in the room, and all these kind of funny situations you find yourself in. I have 2 kiddos, and unfortunately, I've had the case where our own residents have taken care of my children due to some urgent medical need. But I'm excited to know that my residents are caring for my children. They have excellent training and background in pediatrics and really support our hospital system, our clinic system there in Temple, and I would entrust my children's care to our residents. And that's one of the things we look for in our residents as they near graduation, to ensure that we can confirm they'll graduate and be able to care for all of the children in our state, in our community. Our second aim is to have a 100% pass rate on the American Board of Pediatrics certifying exam. Our program is built around or uses the education's didactic system that's a half-day system. We have an 18-month cycling system that is built around the American Board of Pediatrics curricula that they have published for the boards. We use med study program to support our didactics. Our residents have copies of the med study books. They have med study questions to practice board questions, which also helps supplement the prep questions you get through American Academy of Pediatrics. And then we have our board review series that we do with all of our residents prior to graduation. Our third aim is to support residents as frontline physicians and also as people with lives outside of medicine. And really, we have 2 models where we focus on that. Our first one is actually within our scheduling. We have a modified X+Y system, and this allows for lots of flexible vacation planning. Really, in each academic year, our residents can choose when they want to take their vacation, and we build their needs, our scheduling around their needs for their families. And then we have a wellness program, as you can see some of the highlights there on the right. Some of the things I do want to highlight, though, is our monthly wellness check-ins. Our graduate medical education office has a wellness representative that meets with any resident at any time if they're willing, and provides free anonymous counseling for all of our residents. And so we really focus on building a family environment. We have two retreats annually, one in the fall that is for all of our residents and one in the spring that is for each class. Our fourth aim is to graduate residents who consistently place in the practice or fellowship of their choice. All of our residents, for the most part, on average, we have about 60% that go into general pediatrics and about 40% that go into pediatric subspecialty. Over the past several years, all of our residents have done exactly that, matched into their top area of their choosing. Most of our residents stay in state, but some do go back out of state. And some of our more recent subspecialty matches include HEMONC, GI, adolescent medicine, and many numerous others as well. And then our last aim includes to develop our residents to be lifelong advocates for children in our community and beyond. Our residents take an active role in the American Academy of Pediatrics nationally through the Texas Pediatric Society at a state level, but then we also focus in our own backyard. We have a free children's clinic that's a mobile clinic in our community, and we've served 300 patients this past academic year. And then we also partner with our local elementary schools to focus on some education initiatives right there in our own community. So that's a little bit about our program. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the chat. Please check out our website and our Instagram page. We'd love to see you around. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hovland. We would like now to give a couple of seconds for attendees that are joining the breakout room. Our next program is Texas Tech Lubbock. So when you are ready.
Okay. Perfect. There's the slide. My name is Leslie Motherall. Teamy Camp is traveling right now. And as you can see in my background, I'm also at a cabin and I've had significant connectivity issues. So sometimes we just have to pivot. But I'm one of the associate program directors at our residency program in Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock is in West Texas, and we have a small program with 8 residents per year. We are a very, very family-friendly program. And so one of our biggest highlights is we get to know the residents and their families, which helps to really individualize both their curriculum, their learning needs, and also their personal lives. And so we love our residents, and West Texas has a vast area from which we draw patients. And so we have patients as far west as Albuquerque, and then Dallas Fort Worth is about 5 hours to our east. And so we're really right in the middle of an area where there's a tremendous patient need. Here in Lubbock, we do have 2 children's hospitals. So one is within University Medical Center, and UMC is a level 1 trauma center. And so we
Sorry,
okay, I think I lost you. Can you
yeah,
still hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I can't see the slides anymore, but that's okay. Maybe. Completely. So I think I was talking about the is my connection bad?
Yeah, it's a little bit delayed.
Can you hear me now?
Now, yes, it's better now.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So we have the University Medical Center Hospital. The residents also, we have a burn center there. We're the only burn center in our area within 250 miles to our west and our east. So the residents also have the opportunity to take care of children in the burn unit. We also have a freestanding children's hospital here in Lubbock at Covenant Children's. And so the residents also have an opportunity to work there, both in the on the children's wards there, the PICU, the NICU, and then also the freestanding children's ER. And so that has been a tremendous opportunity for our community. One of our biggest accomplishments is we have a standalone resident continuity of care clinic. In our resident COC clinic, it's truly their clinic. The patients identify with the residents as their PCPs, and really the residents do a great job taking ownership of those patients. In our continuity clinic, we have dedicated attending physicians that only work in that clinic, so the residents have 100% support there. West Texas itself, there's a lot to do here. There's plenty of hiking. The mountains are just 4 hours to our west, and so we have residents who like to go ski on the weekends. If you enjoy sports, we have a great sport attendance opportunity with
We are not listening to you. Can hold the phone. You're not. Maybe try to close your camera. It maybe help the connection.
Okay, thank you. I show I have 100% connection. I even tested, so I'm so sorry. But regardless, I think one of the, I would encourage you reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions. Advocacy is another big part of our program. If you were able to see our slides, I know my time is up.
You still have 1 minute, so no problem.
Okay, great. Okay, great. I was talking about advocacy. All of our residents as interns go to the Texas Pediatric Society meeting as a group, and this provides a tremendous bonding experience, but also the understanding of advocacy right at their intern. During the second year, all of our residents go to the AAP meeting together. And again, great bonding, but also understanding advocacy on a national level. And so we find that very important. Our resident wellness program, this is the first year we've had a resident wellness champion or chief. And so we're really excited about the programming that Dr. Giambanco has in place. And so overall, I was a resident trainee in our program, and now almost 20 years later, I'm still here as an attending. And so it's a fabulous place, and I would love to tell you more about it if you have any questions. And I'm so sorry for the connectivity problem.
No problem. It can happen to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes,
Matheral.
thank you.
We would like
yes,
to give a
thank
couple of
you.
seconds for attendees that are joining the breakout room. And our next program will be on Mako at Oklahoma State. So when you are ready, you can start.
Okay, thank you. Hi all, I'm Laura Bodie, and I'm excited to join you this evening. I'm the program director for our OMICO Oklahoma State Pediatrics Residency Program in Tulsa. Our sponsoring institution is an osteopathic training institution with affiliation with OSU College of Osteopathic Medicine. So all of our residency positions are designated for osteopathic recognition via ACG meet. This means that we do have a requirement to graduate from an osteopathic medical school or have completed osteopathic prerequisites, which are on our program website if you're interested. We're proud to be the only pediatric program with osteopathic recognition currently, which means that we incorporate osteopathic principles and practices throughout our training. Another thing that sets our program apart is our rural and tribal track. We have 3 additional positions a year to participate in this track, which is based in beautiful Tahlequah, Oklahoma, which is the capital of the Cherokee Nation, and it's home to our Branch Medical School campus, which is about an hour east of Tulsa. Our track residents get a unique opportunity to do outpatient and inpatient rotations at Indian Health Services, hospitals and outpatient clinics, as well as rural outpatient experiences, and they complete about 40 to 50% of their training with our residents at St. Francis Children's Hospital in Tulsa.
So we are kind of a small to medium-sized program. We have 10 residents per class and then 3 additional residents per class in our tribal track, so 13 total. But we really love the small program mindset and are definitely a small program at heart. The program size, I think, creates a nicely balanced community where you really get to know everybody closely and become family, your co-residents, faculty, subspecialty faculty, and staff. And it really also allows for flexibility and individualizing their curriculum for each resident, having a nice collaborative learning environment and graduated autonomy. So St. Francis Children's Hospital is our major training site for our inpatient and subspecialty experiences. It's a community children's hospital with university affiliations, and it's attached to St. Francis, which is the largest hospital in Oklahoma. It has the region's leading trauma and pediatric ER, a level 4 NICU, a PICU, and numerous subspecialty services. It's the only children's hospital in eastern Oklahoma, so we serve a wide catchment area and have a diverse population. And we're committed to honoring the cultural and racial diversity of our patient population to reflect it in our team. We really value training residents with a strong foundation in general primary care pediatrics. So we're proud of our outpatient and continuity clinic experiences at OSU Pediatrics Clinic, as well as running a community newborn nursery at OSU Medical Center. We are lucky to have resources of an educational institution with the feel of a community program. We have employee assistance program with mental health services. We have quarterly wellness half days, an annual educational stipend, AOBP board exam reimbursement, weekly academic afternoons with quarterly simulation labs and quarterly OMT workshops, TrueLearn question banks for level 3 and ABP board prep. And at the hospital, we have free on-site parking, a stocked lounge, and cafeteria meal credits. Our resident workspace is roomy and sunny and amazing. And we have nice private call rooms as well. In Oklahoma, we've got that southern charm and the Midwest nice. We cannot commit to just one geographic area. Tulsa is an awesome city. The metro area is just over 1 million, and we're in the heart of beautiful green country, Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma. We have all 4 seasons and can have some extremes, but we definitely get some really nice days year round. So we love to enjoy the outdoors, especially the Gathering Place is our most bragged about destination in Oklahoma. It's a nice, big, giant public park right alongside the Arkansas River. We have really fun and interesting districts, including downtown, the Arts District, Black Wall Street, Cherry Street, Brookside, and suburbs galore. There's really something for everybody, and there's always something to do, and there's always a new restaurant to try. Tulsa has been a great place to be a young adult or to raise a family, and it has a great cost of living. Tulsa itself has a great sense of community, just like our program. I would like to direct you to our program's Instagram. We have such a fun crew, and I hope you can see yourself fitting in with us. So thanks so much for the time. I'm happy to answer any questions later.
Thank you, Dr. Bodie. Our next program is the University of Florida, Pensacola. I will just start when you are ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Hi, I'm Diane Wilkinson. I'm the program director for the UF Pensacola program. That's UF for University of Florida. I've been part of this program for 36 years, ever since I came here to do my intern year. I came from Mississippi, thought I would go back to Mississippi, but fell in love with Pensacola and Sacred Heart Hospital. And so I joined the faculty shortly after graduation. I served many years as the continuity clinic director. I'm a general pediatrician, but then became the program director about 3 years ago. My personal email address is babydocmom, and that says it all. I'm the mom of the baby docs. Many years ago, it really was because I am a mom of babies, but I like to think of it now as I'm the mom of all the baby docs. Our program coordinator, Danica, was going to try to be here tonight, but she wasn't able to make it. So I'm kind of winging some of this. When I first came to the program, it was a small community-based program. We had 4 residents per year. So I've seen a lot of growth in the program and in the hospital. We have since, over the many years, developed our academic affiliation with the University of Florida, and we have increased our resident complement to 9 per year. So we have a total of 27 residents. We have a very diverse group of residents, and they all truly become like family to each other. We do take J1 visas if that's something that you're interested in. We like to say that we are a small program that offers a large experience. Our hospital is the Studer Family Children's Hospital at Sacred Heart Ascension, and it is the only children's hospital in Northwest Florida. So this means we have a very wide catchment area that our patients come from. So our residents see a very diverse patient population. We see a lot of zebras along with the usual horses. We have a focus also of serving the underserved, resource-limited population. And that's something we're very proud of, the care that we take care of the patients in our community. Our new hospital was built in 2019, and it is a very beautiful hospital. It has many design elements that were put into the hospital based on input from our patients and families. It has 30 general peds beds. We have 14 observation beds down near the designated pediatric ER. We have a 10-bed ICU and 72 NICU beds that were all private rooms. Everything else for the residents is right there on the hospital campus. So we have our continuity clinic is a short walk from the hospital. The subspecialty clinics where electives are done is also connected to the hospital. And we have a parking garage right kind of in the middle of all that where our residents get to park for free. We follow a 13-block rotation schedule and use a night float system. We do our night floats in 2-week increments only, so you never have to do nights for more than 2 weeks at a stretch. You do that for a total of 6 weeks throughout the year. We have daily, almost daily every week, morning report and noon conference. We offer one of those is we call it our study hall, so that you have some designated time during your workday to complete any online modules and just to have time to study for your boards with the board review questions that we offer. I think our residents find our faculty are very supportive of them. We do not have fellows here at our hospital, which means the residents work very closely with our faculty. This has been very helpful for residents who've been interested in going into fellowship. We have typically about half of our residents go into general peds and about half will go into fellowships. This last year, we've had 4 of our graduates are just starting fellowships now in neonatology and GI and endocrine. Oh, I forget what the other one was in cardiology. We have plenty of social get-togethers. Our residents really enjoy each other. We have annual resident retreats to help reinforce that as well. And living in Pensacola is just really awesome. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy living where most people come to vacation? We have beautiful, beautiful beaches, the fine white sand and beautiful clear water. But the city itself also has lots going on and lots to do. It's a great place to raise a family. That's why I stayed here. And many of our former graduates have stayed in the area. There's innumerable pediatricians in the community are graduates of our program, as well as many of the subspecialists who left and then returned to Pensacola to practice. So it's a great place. Y'all should come check us out.
Thank you, Dr. Wilkinson. We would like to give a couple of seconds for new attendees that are joining the breakout room. And our next program will be Baycare. So when you are ready.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Okay, great. Hi, I'm Jennifer Casatelli. I'm the pediatric program director here at Baycare. Our residents practice out of St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. We are here in Tampa. So thank you guys for having us today. I also have one of our residents, Dr. Izzo, is one of our second-year residents who's on if you guys wanted any information from an end user. I will echo that the Southern region is the best. I'm originally from New York, but I came to Tampa actually to go to college and I cannot leave. It's a great city. If you guys have not ever been here, I think it's probably one of our biggest selling points. We actually quite literally have some of the best beaches in the world in Clearwater and St. Pete. We've been in the top 10. So we're a new program. I started this program. I remember sitting 4 years ago with a blank application in front of me. So we started in 2022. This is our first year that we have our full complement of residents. So we have 8 residents per year, and we are now up to a total of 24 residents. It's been a fantastic experience. I've been an educator throughout almost my entire career. but starting something from scratch, I'll echo whoever said, I feel like these are all my kids now. I have 24 children for sure. One of the advantages I think of being a newer program is we're similar. We do not have fellows on our campus and we don't have any other learners. And so I think our residents really get that one-on-one experience with our faculty. I think I've been really lucky in that we've had great faculty that are really engaged in education. We do an intern retreat every year, and I always ask them kind of what's one of the best things about our program. And inevitably, the anonymous cards come back, the people, the people, the people. So it really has been a great place to work. Our residents are getting a lot of procedural experience. Again, I think because there's not any other learners that are kind of interfering with their experience. So I sign off on all of the procedures that they do. And I've been impressed with the experience that they're gaining. For people that are not procedure driven, we at least want them to have some basic skills of suturing and LPs and things like that. I do have someone who is a third year right now that is applying currently for his emergency room fellowship. I said, he's our test pilot. I feel very confident that he's going to get into fellowship, but he's showing everybody else how it's done. Something that's a little bit unique to us is we feel that advocacy for children is a really important part of pediatrics. So we have a longitudinal program where there's one rotation each year that our residents participate in advocacy. And we really want them to learn how to do that and work with pediatricians in the community. We do have a big focus on wellness as well. I think I'm a gray-haired pediatrician. I was trained back in the day where it was uphill and the snow both ways. And so we do a quarterly wellness event. Our residents started a wellness committee, and so they choose the activities that the residents do. We do an academic half day every Wednesday, and so each quarter we'll take one of those academic half days and they'll go and do something fun together. So I think it helps them bond and get to know each other better. We are building a brand new freestanding children's hospital, and so that's the picture that's behind me, which is really exciting. We anticipate being there in 2030, so it'll be a little bit after your guys' time. But still to be able to be a part of not only building a new program, but building a new children's hospital in this area, I think is exciting for all of us. We do a weekly board review. Obviously, I don't have a board pass rate yet. My goal is 100%, like every pediatric program director on this call and throughout the country. But we use PrEP and we use med study questions. And so our hope is that our residents will do well and excel on the boards with 3 years of review. One of the exciting things also about being new is we got to build our culture. And so what we have tried to do is build that family feel. And I do, like I said, one of our residents is on, there's a Gasparilla parade every year in Tampa, and we were able to walk in the children's parade this year, and her mom came and we were able to kind of meet her mom. And so I think it just shows that family feel is something that's important to us. We know residency can be challenging, and the more support that you have, the easier it is for you. Our residents also are helping us to kind of mold and shape what the program looks like. So Dr. Izzo, who's on with me tonight, also started a clap-in for our residents this year. So it's one of our new traditions where when they enter the children's hospital for the first time, we were lined up in the hallway and everybody kind of clapped for them and welcomed them into our new hospital. So it's been really exciting. Definitely Tampa's a great place. So come take a look if you guys are interested. And Dr. Izzo and myself are happy to answer any questions in the chat. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Casatelli. Our next program is Breakout Health. So when you are ready.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Christy Rivers. I'm the program director at Broward Health, Salva Foundation Children's Hospital. I just want to thank you to the Future Peds Res for hosting this webinar and for inviting us here. Just want to tell you a little bit about our program. We are located in downtown Fort Lauderdale. We have 8 residents per year. So that really gives us, like all the other programs here, that family feel. We have plenty of opportunities for mentorship as a result as well. Broward Health is a safety net hospital, so we basically take care of anybody who walks through our doors, regardless of their ability to pay. And Salva Foundation Children's Hospital is located within the larger Broward Health Medical Center. Recently renovated, so we have all beautiful private rooms, both on the peds floors and in the NICU, PICU as well. We have a very diverse patient population due to our location, and also that brings a lot of diverse pathology as well. We're about 5-10 minutes from the airport, as well as the cruise ship ports. So that brings in a lot of patients from really all over the world, which of course brings in great pathology as well. We have 50 licensed pediatric beds. We are a level 3 NICU and a level 1 trauma center with 12 PICU beds as well. We have 24-hour on-call attendings, both on the floors, the PICU, the NICU, and the ER. So that really gives the residents graduated autonomy. So you're not left alone in your first minute in residency, but we do give you that autonomy as you go along. We have no fellows, and that gives our residents lots of experience with procedures. We have about 50% of our residents who enter fellowships from year to year, and they match usually in their top places as well. We are renovating our GME space. So come spring of 2025, we'll have all new classrooms and conference rooms, call rooms, et cetera. So we're very excited about seeing that new space. We do offer J1 visas as of last year. We also have a strong focus on advocacy. So we have a monthly 1-month advocacy rotation in the second year, led by Dr. Cornelli, one of our APDs who's on this call. And really that gets residents out into the community to get a better understanding of some of the barriers that their patients encounter. We also have, as part of Broward Health GME, have a yearly community service requirement for all residents, just to give back to the community as well. We have a strong focus on our academics. We do have an academic half day. We also have new conferences as well. We also use the ABP curriculum supported by Med Study, which we do provide to all of our residents. We also use the prep curriculum as well as our Med Study. We do have a strong board prep curriculum as well built into our didactics. All of our residents do QI and research projects, and historically, our resident posters are accepted both locally and nationally at conventions, including the National AAP Conference each year. We are affiliated with 4 different medical schools: Nova Southeastern University, the University of Miami, Florida International University, as well as Florida Atlantic University. So that really gives us a lot of opportunities to partner with those medical schools as well. As far as our curriculum goes, our first year focus is really more on foundational pediatrics, both in the inpatient and outpatient setting. And then in second year is when our residents start to go into the NICU and the PICU. We have a lot of unique rotation options, including pediatric surgery, lactation. We have a procedure elective, anesthesia. So really, because of our small program, we have a lot of flexibility with the curriculum. We have 13 block rotations in our resident, and we also have a night float system for our residents. We also take wellness very seriously. We have an on-site wellness center that's free to all of our residents. We do wellness events twice a year, and each class has a retreat each year as well. We also connect our residents with the Employee Assistance Program during intern orientations, so they have somebody to go to if they have any needs throughout their training. And then finally, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about our locations. So if any of you have been to South Florida, it is really a lovely place to live and to work. Beautiful beaches are just a couple miles away. And Fort Lauderdale really has everything that you would want as far as entertainment, sports, theater, concerts, restaurants. And we're about 30 minutes away from Miami if you can't find enough to do in Fort Lauderdale. So feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Dr. Rivers. That concludes the program overview portion of the evening. Now we will open up the floor to a live Q&A. If anyone prefers to remain anonymous, please feel free to send me a personal message and I will address your question to the program representatives.
I just wanted to thank you guys for setting this up. You did a really great job. You should be proud of yourselves. I think it helps us as program directors to kind of get our name out there. So thank you guys for all of your hard work.
Much for being here, especially taking time out of your very busy schedule. One of the first questions that came through is what is one piece of advice you can give an applicant on how to stand out this cycle?
I'm from New York, y'all, so I'll always talk, but y'all shut me up if I'm talking too much. But I think the signaling, at least to get your foot in the door, at least for me as a program director, when I'm reviewing through 1,000 applications, I may do a deeper dive into someone who signaled. I'd like to look for people who are have connections to the area or to the hospital. And so if there is a place you want to go and you have some connection there, I think that helps as well. And doing sub-Is or acting internships has helped us. Half of our residents worked with us in some form or another. So I think that's another way, if you can, to kind of get your foot in the door.
I would say we just want you to be yourself. We want to know you as people. We want to see what you're passionate about. So, we can look through, 1,000 applications, but we want to see what makes you. We look at your scores, of course, but tell us a little bit about who you are. I think that really helps you stand out if you are just true to yourself.
I would echo that and agree wholeheartedly. That's really an important part of it, is just letting us really know who you are.
I have some questions about memberships and
You were cutting out. Are you able to repeat the question?
so a lot of the chat asking about observership opportunities and visas. What do you have to tell them about this?
I can say for here in Pensacola, we do take residents with J1 visas. Unfortunately, we are not able to offer observerships at this time, though, because of I would love to, but it's not up to me.
Likewise for us, I think I posted in the chat. We don't currently offer any observerships. It's kind of out of my hands, but we do accept J1 visas, our program.
And I answered in the chat as well. I think because we are so young, I cannot take observers right now, and we don't offer spots to J1 visas, unfortunately. Hopefully, I'm with you. It's a little beyond me at this point. We're still kind of under our cap and our build, but eventually I would love to be able to do that.
And then I saw a couple other questions in the chat, if I may, just one about geographic preference mattering. I agree with what the other PD said about the signaling. I think that's where we primarily focus in the beginning. Geographic is the next kind of level, but we ultimately review all applications for our program. We do a holistic review on everybody. It's just the signaling and geographic are the ones we get to first before we get to the others for our program.
I would echo that. We do the same as well.
I see a question also in the chat about DO applicants, if US MLE scores are required, and for our program, they are not. It's not a requirement. We do look at them, obviously, if they are there, but we don't require that.
We're the same. We don't require, but I will say that it helps because I have seen, looking at lots and lots of applications, that the COMLEX and the steps are a little bit different. And I've seen someone get a 700 on a COMLEX that, got barely past the step. So I think for us, it helps, but it is not required. But I think if you want to make yourself more competitive, to take the step, I think makes you a little bit more competitive.
I agree. At Broward, it is not required, but certainly it is. It does help make a stronger application if you have both.
Just jumping in on the question and answer section. I just want to make sure there were no other programs that were here that didn't get represented, and we want to make sure everyone gets a chance to talk. So if there isn't one more program or anything, go ahead and just message me so we get you your chance to talk. Otherwise, we did see another question. If programs could please speak to some of the advocacy opportunities and what those rotations entail.
Hello, my name is Dr. Judith Corneli. I'm one of the APDs at Broward Health, and I also oversee our advocacy rotation. This is a 1-month rotation that takes place during the second year and allows residents to go to nearby sites such as the food pantry, long-term care facilities, and it also allows our residents to work with a nurse. We have a nurse shadow day. They meet with the lactation consultant, as well as various other individuals. During this time period, we utilize the American Academy of Pediatrics advocacy module, as well as other resources, so that way we can expose our residents to social media advocacy and advocacy in so many ways. Our residents also write op-eds. They learn how to write an op-ed. They also write letters to their legislator. And also during this time, our residents work together on a longitudinal project. This project is something that is going to be spanning over the years as we hope to apply for a catch grant and get that catch grant. And in addition to that, we have projects that we carry out throughout the year, our academic year, such as having a book bag drive, toy drive, because we do have something that we call the Community Outreach Committee, which is basically something that the residents get involved in if they want to participate in helping individuals in our community. And lastly, we are starting a food insecurity project, which has been underway and well received by everyone in the hospital and in the program. So advocacy is something that is very, very important to myself, as well as to the other leaders and the physicians at our program. Thank you.
We have a similar advocacy rotation here in Pensacola. We actually have moved that rotation from the first year to the second year. So this last year that just ended, we did not have any of the residents doing that rotation, and we used that opportunity to really make it a more robust rotation. And our APD, Dr. Schrant, who's been working on that, has put a lot of effort into it and made a lot of contacts in the community. So our residents will be doing very similar type of advocacy as what's described there for Broward. Advocacy is just so much a very important part of pediatrics.
Hi guys, my name is Julia Izzo. I'm the second year resident for Baycare with Dr. Casatelli. Speaking from my experience with advocacy, we do 1 month per year. So I've done my first month as a first year, and I'm about to do my second month next month, actually. Our advocacy rotation is wonderful. We do a lot of things like the mobile medical bus. That is a bus that is sponsored by Baycare, and it goes around different areas of Tampa Bay. And we get to help underserved communities. Also have a chronic complex clinic that we get to see a lot of kiddos with very interesting disease processes. Other things that we do is following with a pediatric dentist, pediatric ophthalmology clinic. And there's also a component of it that you can, look for opportunities yourself and make what you want out of the rotation as well. So I'm currently working on some opportunities with different community resources for kiddos with Down syndrome, things like that. So it's a wonderful rotation. You do a lot around the community, and you can make it what you want as well.
So we are approaching the end of our program overview portion of the evening and have time for one more question. So
I have one more question that was sent to me. Is that let's see. Sorry, I actually have a couple questions in here. Just want to try to make the question most applicable to everyone in the room. Once again, we appreciate you guys being here. One of the questions I see in the chat is, do you guys have rotations that are specifically in pediatric palliative medicine?
We actually currently do not, but I will tell you, I actually have a meeting scheduled tomorrow. We're hoping to be able to work on that, but currently we don't.
We actually have our first resident that is looking at working with our palliative care doctor. And so we're same. I have a meeting coming up to try to build that rotation for her. So like I said, it's one of the cool things about being a young new program is our residents get to kind of help us build. And so a lot of times I tell them, you're going to be the guinea pig, help me decide what a good experience is going to be. And then we get feedback afterwards and tweak it. So yes, we have our first one coming up soon.
We do recently this year just are beginning to start one. We recently had an addition of a palliative care faculty member who's interested in pediatrics specifically and have started to rotate and more at our clinic and hospital. We also have all of our residents trained in what's is called serious illness conversation planning, so that they can have those conversations with patients and families in regards to those type of patients that you may encounter. That was actually one of our residents' QI projects this past academic year.
Thank you guys so much for sharing. I think the breakout rooms are going to close, so I invite you guys all to jump back into the main room, and we'll be closing them shortly, just so we can do a quick wrap up. Thank you again for all of our program representatives. We really appreciate you guys taking time out of your very busy schedule, and all of our attendees. So we can go ahead and head back out to the main room now.
We're gonna wait a few moments to let attendees trickle in, and then we're gonna start.
Great. And as we wait for the attendees to trickle in, if program representatives can please add your school's affiliation to your Zoom display name, that would be great.
I think we can start. I see a lot of people have joined the room already.
Great. So attendees, I'd like to offer some guidance with navigating between breakout rooms. To join a different breakout room, please select breakout room and then join the breakout room of your choice. You can also return to the main room if you would like to leave the breakout room. So everyone, welcome to room number 2. My name is Erin again, and my pronouns are she, hers. I'm a medical student in Colorado, and I will be moderating this event this evening. I would also like to introduce our FPR webinar associate director, Sheena, who's working hard behind the scenes. So I would like to invite our program representatives to give a short presentation of their program for 5 minutes for the first part of the evening, and then we will take questions after all the presentations. Attendees, you can choose to leave your questions in the chat as we go, and we also encourage programs to make use of the chat to answer any questions they can in case we run out of time. To ensure that all programs are adequately representative, we will be limiting each presentation to 5 minutes. I will be giving a 30-second warning, so I'll have a timer going, and once you hear me notify you of 30 seconds, just please try to wrap up your thoughts. Great. And so we will begin now. Our first program of the evening is the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Carla Garcia, and I'm the program director at UTCOM Chattanooga. That's in East Tennessee. And with me tonight is our wonderful program coordinator, Ashley Thurston, which I'm going to ask to jump in if I forget any important part while I'm giving this very brief summary. First of all, go to our website. It has got tons of information, lots of videos. You can get all the nitty-gritty details that you want. So, who are we? East Tennessee and Chattanooga. We are the sister school of University of Tennessee at Memphis. We are the smaller program. We have 10 residents per class. We have a mixed urban and suburban population. We have so many individualized curriculums that are available to our resident that we've added throughout the years that has made us a little bit unique in the South. We are the very first program to offer the entire lifestyle medicine curriculums. That means that you can graduate and completing that program and being able to sit for your American Board of Lifestyle Medicine boards after you pass your Gen Peds boards. We are a regional comprehensive pediatric center with a level 1 trauma center, which means we also have a level 4 PICU and NICU with ECMO services. The only thing we ship out is cardiac surgery and transplants. Other than that, everything actually funnels into us from about 150 mile radius. You can see the number of beds that we have there listed on our slide. Our outpatient general pediatric center houses, as you can see from behind here, houses all our subspecialty clinics and our resident-run general pediatric clinic with over 10,000 visits a year. We are the most important source of pediatric care in Chattanooga for the community. We have so many subspecialty rotations available. From pediatric urology, nephrology, you name a subspecialty, we have it for you. In addition to that, we also have global health opportunities in Ecuador as well as in Kenya that our residents have enjoyed throughout the years. And we're hoping to add Malawi this upcoming year to those global health experiences. About 50% of our residents go into fellowship and 50% end up going into private practice. About 30-something% of those end up staying right in Tennessee area, but the majority of those then stay within the Southeast area. For our fellows, they either get their first or second choice in their fellowship programs, and we are very proud of them because many of them end up coming back to join us as academic faculty because they've enjoyed living in the scenic city. Ashley, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Keep going. You're doing great.
Okay, we have a wonderful faculty mentoring program where every resident is assigned an individual faculty that you meet with on a regular basis. That means month to month group lunches with other residents as well for mentorship and career planning. But we mentor you throughout every and all of your needs, from physical wellness to mental wellness as well. We have a incredible wellness program where we have Wellness Wednesday events. We're getting ready to have some art therapy. We've had music therapy. We have yoga and massages, all those kind of things to kind of help you concentrate on that portion of your life that needs some TLC sometimes, because sometimes we have the opportunity to sometimes avoid taking care of ourselves when we get so busy. We have a very diverse
30 seconds remaining. Thank you.
yeah, we have a very diverse population that we serve in our community. You would think not so, and from Chattanooga, but we're a Bridge Refugee Center. So as a result, we have patients from all over the world that are actually living and making Chattanooga their home. So your experiences with patients are going to be very diverse culturally, racially, socioeconomically. Lots of high acuity, plenty of bread and butter. We graduate you so that you are ready to be independent and confident and feeling confident by the time you finish our program. We hope that you will join one of our coffee houses. We just had our first one tonight and 3 more to go. So join us and check out our website.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garcia. We really appreciate it. We would like to give a couple seconds for the attendees that are joining from a different breakout room, and then we will begin with our next program, who is East Tennessee State.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Priya Jain. I am the program director for ETSU, East Tennessee State University. We are also, as our name says, in East Tennessee. We are located in Johnson City, Tennessee, so a few hours away from Dr. Garcia's program. In East Tennessee, we really strive to train excellent general pediatricians who are interested in advocacy and rural medicine. And we also train excellent subspecialists who are successful in their chosen fields. We are a small program as well. We have 8 residents per year. I am joined on this call by one of our chief residents, 2 of our associate program directors, and our program coordinators. So please chime in if I miss anything. We are a mix of suburban and rural populations. We have primary care and subspecialty training tracks. We have a very diverse faculty as well and cover all the subspecialties. We have a level 3 NICU, a 10-bed PICU, and we are the only inpatient pediatrics unit in the Appalachian region. We are also affiliated with St. Jude's in Memphis, so we have a large patient population that we share with the larger St. Jude's facility. Many of our residents graduate from our program and stay either at our institution or in the region, so we are fortunate to really retain our own trainees, but we also have plenty of faculty who have trained other places and bring a really diverse perspective to our training program. Some of our unique features in our curriculum, we have a wellness and lifestyle medicine curriculum as well. We have a global health rotation, and 2 of our most recent third-year residents did a month in Cambodia with one of our faculty members. We have an advocacy month, and we do a lot of community outreach programming throughout the year that our residents participate in. And we have a flexible rotation schedule with vacation. So you can take vacation sort of in different blocks, not necessarily all at a time, which is one thing that is unique about our structure. Our institution has a really high commitment to DEI, and we have a diverse faculty and resident body that shows that and highlights that. And I'm sure I'm missing a lot of things, so I will ask my colleagues to chime in if there's anything I did not mention that we should mention.
Hi, I'm Lauren Swift. I'm one of the associate program directors at ETSU, former program director. And I really love ETSU because we teach our residents how to practice medicine in more resource limited areas, and you feel very
one with attendings in all of your other clinical settings, whether it be the PICU, newborn nursery, the inpatient
30 seconds remaining. Thank you.
And so we really look forward to getting to meet you all over the course of the interview season, and hopefully have some of you match with us. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eichmann. We really appreciate it. Just a few more seconds for people to move around, and then we will be moving on to our next program, Atrium Health. Do we have the representatives for Atrium Health that would like to share?
I think they're not here. Not that I can see. I think we can move on to the next program and circle back to them if we see them coming here.
Great. In that case, we will move on to Prisma Health slash USC School of Medicine, Greenville Pediatrics.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda Hartke. I'm the program director as we talked about, the other Greenville. So we have absolutely had confusions both ways. And having lived in both states, I can say they're both amazing cities. I'm excited to tell you a little bit about our Greenville in South Carolina. So we're a little bit at the foothills of the mountains. So if you drew a line between Charlotte, North Carolina and Atlanta, you're going to come somewhere close to Greenville, South Carolina. As a program, so I've been in the program this is my 4th year, going into my 4th year as program director, but our program actually just celebrated its 50th graduating class. And I mentioned that because we had this giant banquet with about 350 of our alumni came. And that was such a typical moment that really made me feel the way this program feels. And that is that it is a place that you put down roots and you form connections, and the faculty got to see all of its graduates, many of whom were then connecting with our new residents, and it is a full cycle. It is a place where we have about 11 residents per year in pediatrics. We also have 5 med peds. So it's at that feel of a small to medium program, but really a lot larger support system when it comes from things like peers and class learning and backup systems. We're really a resident-focused hospital system. We only have 1 pediatric fellowship, and that's developmental, so no inpatient fellows. That means our residents really get that first crack at not only the clinical experiences, but the procedural opportunities and one-on-one teaching. And our faculty really are just so passionate about teaching. We have to turn them away from lectures. They'll wander their way up to rounds and in the workroom. And our residents are on a first name basis. They all have the cell phone numbers and direct communication with our faculty. And that has extended beyond the walls of the hospital too, where one of our biggest pieces of our wellness is just this really integrated support system with your peers and your faculty and your program leadership. We divide our peds and med peds residents into houses. There are 3 quote houses, and there's a gentle competition where if you are getting a champagne tap, then you're going to get some points. If you are getting your nails done or having brunch with your family or going out to personal wellness outside of the hospital, you're going to get that done. If you submit a paper, you get points for your house, because we really want to recognize that residency is an incredible time for professional growth, but also for personal growth, and both need to grow side by side. We try and get to know our residents on that individual basis. Like, what do they want to do? What are they passionate about? What do they want their lives and careers to look like? And part of the way we help make those things possible is to put all those experiences into intern year. So as an intern, you're going to get electives in a subspecialty, but you're also going to get those ICU experiences and NICU and PICU, and say, when fellowship rolls around, do I know if I want it? And we have a strong grounding in outpatient general pediatrics. We have the largest Medicaid clinic base for pediatrics in the state, a very strong longitudinal curriculum that embeds in the community, learns its resources, learns how to advocate as a professional in whatever career path you take. So our residents do come out very well prepared. They're coming out prepared to match. We have 100% match in fellowship. We have the last couple of years, we've had 100% board pass rate, really help them through that job search, that job placement. What do you want that to look like? We are a standard curriculum model. We looked at X plus Y. It actually had less outpatient time, less clinic time. We have an almost equal balance of inpatient and outpatient. And we still have that noon didactic series because that's kind of where that moment to step away, focus on a few things, and then go back and get your days done. Greenville as a city is an incredible place. It's a very active, young city, very safe. You can get rural very quickly, and that is both for where you can have some land for where you live, but also we have a number of rural training experiences if that is part of your what you would like to explore as a career. We have inpatient in a children's hospital in a rural setting. We have an outpatient clinic in a rural setting, and those are a couple of the unique opportunities. We also have the full range of subspecialists, even pediatric pain medicine and neurosurgery as specialists that will have options for our learners. So you can come out truly tailored in your educational experience. And then as much as I think we are a resident-centered hospital, I think we're a resident-driven program. We have a monthly town hall where our residents get to hear about and get to have input on how we
30
build our
seconds.
curriculum,
Thank you.
thank you, and what our next steps are. And they truly get to feel a part of those decisions, and our clinic structures and everything else is based on that. Happy to take questions in chat later. And I just got a message. My associate program director, Mark Crom, also joined, so he can do a quick hi, and then we are around for questions if you'd like to elsewise.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Hartke. We will now be moving on to our final program of the evening, Charleston Area Medical Center. If we could please have a representative come speak.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Rupa Kapoor. I am actually the incoming program director, so I'm currently not yet there, but I will be there in October. And I'm super excited to chat with you tonight. I am a pediatric ER physician clinically. I'm also Global Health Fellowship trained, and I will be starting there in October. And, you know, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when I was applying to residency as a medical student was to go to a resident-driven residency and a fellowship-driven fellowship. And one of the things that really got me recruited to Charleston was that this is truly a resident-driven residency. So a little bit about the program. This is West Virginia's first dedicated freestanding women and children's hospital. It's the largest health system in West Virginia. We have a level 1 PICU, level 3 NICU, and about 25,000 pediatric ER visits a year. Our community clinic for our Gen Peds experience is a federally qualified health center. And so we serve a large Medicaid population, both suburban, urban, and rural. We are 7 residents a year, and so you get that real family feel. We don't have any subspecialty fellows, and so as some of the other programs here without fellows have mentioned, you get first access to all the procedures. You're one-on-one with faculty. You know, a lot of our wellness is that we are at faculty homes for dinners. I've already gotten to experience that just with orientation most recently, and there's tons of parties. They like to have paint parties. I think we celebrate everyone's birthday party. It's just really fun to even start to be a part of that. Our fellowship matches are excellent. It's 50% primary care, 50% fellowship. And then our residents are first author on their publications, which I think is really cool opportunity. And so one of the benefits of being a resident-driven residency. We like to focus a lot on individual interests, and so we're big into mentorship. With being the capital of West Virginia, there's lots of opportunity for advocacy. Our residents are frequently involved in those activities. The research, QI, rural health, all sorts of individual interests can be nurtured there. One of the other things I really was drawn to at Charleston was that they have a ton of support. So every resident gets up to $3,000 for one national conference or board review. In addition to that, there's funding if you are chosen to present regionally or professionally. There are publication fees that are covered. We reimburse for step 3. And then J1 visas, of course, are welcome. And we have a really diverse faculty and a really diverse resident group, which I think is lovely. I think many people, when they think of West Virginia, don't recognize that. It's far more diverse than where I currently am, and I think that's pretty cool. A couple of the other key features I wanted to point out is that we have a protected academic half day on Friday afternoons, which is really fun. It's very case-based and interactive. There is a brand new state-of-the-art SIM center and a SIM curriculum in place. And so after our academic half days, for those of us that don't have to go back for nights, we get to hang out, which is really great as well. We are big into our child advocacy center. West Virginia, unfortunately, has a lot of issues that require some child advocacy. And at the capital state, it's fun to be able to participate in a lot of that. We will be rolling out the leadership curriculum and the career development curriculum, which I was fortunate enough to build and has some great evidence behind. And you have the opportunity to rotate through all your core specialties. In terms of wellness, we have a huge commitment at the GME level towards wellness. Our retreat is an all resident retreat every year, faculty cover for all the residents so they can be together all at once. We have a well-being committee that is from every part of the hospital, which I think is really neat. It's not just physician driven. And then free parking, meal allowance, similar to many of the other programs. We have an on-site exercise space. We also have a room of reflection, which is excellent for those that need to pray, those that are breastfeeding. It's just a nice zen area to get away for anyone that needs that. And then,
thank you.
Yep, thank you. Location-wise, state mottos, wild and wonderful or almost heaven. And if you get the chance to visit there, you'll know exactly why. Fall is absolutely gorgeous. I'm told that back when we could recruit in person, everyone was trying to get them there during the fall because it was absolutely gorgeous. My boys are currently already there and they are whitewater rafting, they are hiking, they are fishing, they are biking. So not yet skiing, but we'll see this winter. And it's just quite an active scene. So every Friday night during the summer, there's a whole bunch of live music, regatta during 4th of July. So I can't wait to experience it. And I'm hoping that if you have any questions for me, and if there's anything I can't answer tonight, I'm happy to get answers for you. But I look forward to meeting many of you during recruitment season. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kapoor. That concludes the program overview portion of the evening. Now we will open up the floor to live Q&A. Please put your questions in the chat, and if anyone prefers to remain anonymous, feel free to send a direct message and we will address it. Okay, one of the first questions coming in is what is the best way to gauge the culture of a program with virtual interviews?
Our program hosts a meet and greet virtually for all the applicants that's attended by the residents. And I think that the residents can give you a really great feel for the program. And I think in general, even though it's virtual, you can still gauge a lot from your interactions with the faculty that you're interviewing with, and how well they interact with you, how they're asking questions, what types of questions are they asking, how they've reviewed your application. So I think that between your interactions with faculty and your interactions with residents, you have a lot of opportunity to make that assessment.
Our program has both a resident chat on the day of interview, so sort of a pool of question session with the current interviewees, and then we also have a more informal happy hour that's open to anyone who's interviewing during the season. So we kind of give you a few different opportunities to interact with our residents in different settings, and I think that's really important. How the residents interact with each other, and then even sometimes how you see them interact with faculty members on the day of the interview gives you a good sense of what the interactions look like in real life.
So for Prisma and Greenville, I would say that we have a resident run Instagram, and I think that that gives you a peek into our residents and our faculty. One of the advice I've given to students before is while you're speaking to residents, ask them which of their faculty members they would most want to be when they finish training. Who do they want to emulate? And I think that if they can find someone like that on their faculty, that's a good reflection of who they bond with and whether those people are there for them.
Great, sorry, go ahead if you had an answer to that one.
No, I'm just kind of echoing what everyone said. I think spending as much time with residents as you can virtually is helpful. Yeah.
Great, so our next question is, what do programs consider when viewing IMG applications?
Our program is really focused on the experiences you've had, your exposure to the U.S. healthcare system, the quality of any rotations that you've done in the U.S., Were they observerships? Were they hands-on? If it was an observership, how did you make the most out of that clinical learning experience? So that's what the greatest emphasis at our program is.
Another question we had is, what is the best way to address any potential red flags on an application, and how would these come up during interviews?
I think having an opportunity to write about it in either an impactful experience or meaningful experience, maybe in your personal statement, and then we really strive to have open conversations in our interviews as an opportunity to see what the perspective of the applicant is on some of those hardships, and what they've learned from those experiences and how that can make them a better resident and a better clinician in the future.
To echo Priya, I think that transparency is something that you should look for within the institution. And I think open conversations are so important. It's about what you've learned from your journey.
Great. Next question is, how important is research experience in the application?
So I would say that for our program, it just is a matter of who it reflects as you as an applicant. If you are focused on that career, then I would love for you to show it through research, but I don't need to see that from every applicant. I want to see you as an applicant. That may be research, that may not be.
I think we really are about holistic review. And I think that's really, really important. And so it really, as Amanda just said, Dr. Harkey, it's about authenticity. And so showing up really as who you are and whether that contributes to where your path leads you is more important than research itself. If your passion is in advocacy or if your passion is in service, then it's much more important that we see that reflects what you stand for.
Yeah, similarly, I just want to say that we want you to do experiences because they were meaningful for you and they helped you grow in some way, not to just like check a box because you thought you were supposed to.
And I will say for us, we kind of consider scholarly activity as this big umbrella. So it's not just research, it's, education. If you were like a teaching assistant, or if you helped to design a curriculum, or if you did an advocacy project. So just like bench research or publishing in, a journal is just a small portion of the scholarly work that you can do as a resident.
I'd have to echo the same with Dr. Aikman. I think scholarly activity encompasses education, advocacy, quality improvement, patient safety, not just clinical research or bench research. So having that holistic approach that I feel that all of the programs here have echoed that's what we're looking for. What are you passionate about? Why did you do what you did? And what did you learn in the journey of participating, whether it's a clinical project or an advocacy project that you feel you're going to take with you into the residency program and beyond to your career?
Great. Our next question is, do residents get guidance for advocacy?
Yes, at East Tennessee, we have a huge component of advocacy in our curriculum. We have a structured rotation, and then we have opportunities throughout residency training to participate in advocacy events. Some of our residents participate in local State of Tennessee Day on the Hills through the AAP or participate in the national conferences. But being from a smaller, more rural program, advocacy is a huge component of what we do in our day-to-day clinical practice. And so our residents really get a good foundation in that.
One of the unique things about our program is that we allow your scholarly activity to be in advocacy, and some of the recent advocacy projects that our residents have done have been embraced by the hospital, like we're a no-hit zone now, and the development of advocacy for Tdap vaccination for mothers was taken upon by a resident who was advocating for these mothers, and now it's become standard of care for all our moms. So our residents make a difference when they're advocating for their patients, not just during the 3 years they're here, but their effects are felt beyond after they've graduated, that they have impacted their community because of their advocacy work while they're at our program.
At our program, because we're so close to Washington, D.C., our residents actually get to participate in an advocacy day where you meet with legislators. You're kind of prepped beforehand for how do you argue your point, how do you bring across an issue that's important to you and your patients, and then you actually get to do it. So that's one additional layer that we offer in terms of mentorship. And if that's something that you're interested in, you get that experience in real time.
For our program, we have this integrated through our outpatient clinical rotations with protected half days to read about the city, to read about our population, to read about the needs of the population we serve, but also to give you the skill set to be an advocate in many ways, however your career path may take you.
Great. We are approaching the end of our program, and we have time for one more question. So let's see. The last question is, how do you suggest I reach out to programs before interview season to express my interest?
I think there are lots of different ways that you can reach out. I think that one, you can just email. We're all on a first name basis already where I'm at. And so you can always reach out via email if you have a specific question. You can connect on Instagram. A lot of us have Instagram pages as well as Facebook pages. So those are a couple ways that you can reach out. Signaling is also a very useful way to just let programs as you apply know where you're interested.
Okay, it looks like we may have time for one more. Another question someone had was, how important is the year of graduation cutoff for programs? And are there filters for 5+ years till graduation?
At East Tennessee, we really strive to review applications holistically. So we consider all applications on their merits. So we don't have a strict cutoff, but it is a consideration.
Same as what Priya just said over here. So.
And we have the same approach here in Chattanooga.
And I would say we don't have any filters. We do appreciate if you've had clinical experience closer to the time. I don't think that has to be in medical school and training, but some ongoing active clinical experience makes a difference.
Great. Well, thank you everyone so much for participating. Hopefully everyone had the chance to learn a bit more about our Southern programs and what they have to offer. And we just want to repeat how grateful we are to all the program directors, coordinators, and other representatives who took the time to join us tonight.
I'd like to invite everybody to please join back the main room.